The following is a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. This is Comfortably Zoned Radio, and you're listening to the 50s when bums and jints walk the streets of New York. My name is Peter Trunk, and my hosts along with me are Ralph Tycho and Ron Rabinowitz. Ralph, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good. Everything is fine and dandy, and as I said before, it could very well be dandy and fine if I reverse things later on. I have that option.
Either way, it sounds good.
And I will always take that option.
Okay. There you go. Ronnie, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We're nice and toasty here in Minneapolis.
All right.
2 days ago,
That
it was
sounds
100.
good. Oh, really?
Today was 97, and today
Wow.
is 75. So it's been
Unbelievable.
great.
You were talking 20 below during the winter.
Isn't that something?
100, and summer isn't even here.
Isn't that crazy?
We did not have a spring. It went right from winter to summer.
I'm sure there's no climate change going on.
No, of course not.
All that stuff is absolutely ridiculous. A bunch of tree-hugging hippies pointing out that our ecology is important in a day and age like this, when our illustrious leader is so for shooting elephants. Yes, his kids go over to Africa for tusks and stuff and posing with endangered species that they just shot. What a wonderful family.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, we don't.
Only one living thing needs elephant tusks.
Yeah.
And that's an elephant.
That's an elephant.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
A live elephant at that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now you have declarations that they can shoot bear cubs.
Yeah, and if you want to shoot an elephant, buy a frickin' camera.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, then somebody else can shoot it the same way down the road, and it can live and procreate, all that stuff.
Pretty sad.
They don't get that.
No.
All right. Listen, our show is about the 50s, and our show is going to reflect that tonight. I want to remember, and this will bring back memories, I'm sure, for Ralph, who grew up in Queens. I grew up in Brooklyn. Ronnie, not so much. He was in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, but perhaps he can relate to some of this. Where I grew up, on nearly every corner, there was what was called a candy store. I don't know if they had candy stores in Sheboygan, did they?
Oh, yes,
Ronnie?
they did.
They did?
Oh,
okay.
Yes, they did.
And they sold everything from A to Z, right?
Oh, penny candy and, you know, the little
did they have soda fountains inside?
Huh?
Did they have soda fountains inside?
Sure.
Oh, okay. There you go. So you know what I'm talking about when I say candy store.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually, here in the New York area, usually run by a man and his wife, generally Jewish, whose long day didn't end until the men of the block gathered and waited for the arrival of the night owl editions of the Daily News and the Daily Mirror.
Right.
Across the
we
street,
get there at about 9:30 in the evening, if I remember correctly.
And if the Dodgers were on the road and playing at night, they would have what was called a partial score. And the headline in the sports section would read, Dodgers lead Cardinals in fourth. And you have 4 innings up on the which is weird. Anyway, but they did it.
And it was really tough when both teams moved west, because naturally they'd be playing 3 hours later.
Yeah, it was non-existent then. Yeah.
It'd be tough to get a box score in the morning paper on the way to school.
Exactly.
Yes, it would.
Exactly. It used to give all the scores, and then it would say, so-and-so at L.A., N.
Late.
N, meaning night.
Late scores.
They wouldn't have any, no scores whatsoever. You were always a day behind.
Yes. And
always a day behind.
Sporting news, you were a week behind on statistics.
Yes, but the sporting news was cool because they gave all the box scores of the minor league teams.
Oh,
so you could follow Montreal and you know, you guys could follow Minneapolis, for the Giants, and they would have all of that. That was great.
Yeah. Anyway, I had a Dodger book, Peter and Ralph. I had a Dodger book that I kept every day for about 7 years. It was a loose leaf notebook. I had each player has one page. Then there was the doubles, the triples, the home runs and RBIs and the stolen bases, ERAs and strikeouts and blah, blah, blah. And I would go to the paper every day, and if I couldn't get it, I'd get it in my sporting news. And then I would catch up.
Right.
Once a week I would figure the baseball average, the ERA, and the batting average. 7 years.
Boy, I'd do that with my dice baseball leagues.
That's great.
I'd have to transpose the box scores to the permanent records and stuff like that.
Yeah, I used to do that when I played Stratomatic before I got it for the computer. The computer did all of that automatically for you.
Sure it did. Yeah.
It does now. I have a simulation league in a Baseball Mogul, which you can plug in any team, any year, and you can put it in a league, and you can put your own leagues together and go. And they now, as you say, they keep all the stats. They tell you who's pitching next, who's got plenty of rest. It makes it nice and easy and fun as hell. Just
Stratomatic used to actually write a synopsis of the game. So you would have the box score. They would make up an attendance figure, and they would write a little write-up on it, like a couple of paragraph write-up. It was unbelievable. Anyway,
these candy stores. One was limited in those games is you couldn't get all the teams from the past. You couldn't make up leagues. It was nowadays the way they have the game set up with going back to everything and statistics and what have you. It's a big improvement. And
absolutely. They got it covered. They got it covered like a blanket. You could play Federal League, Negro League. You could play before 1900. You could play anything you want, and on Stratomatic, and they give you the box scores and the pitching thing and the story of the game, the standings, the league leaders.
It was fun.
Everything. They even, at the end of the year, they even pick a Cy Young Award winner and an MVP and a Rookie of the Year. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. These things have all-star games. They'll let you play.
They do.
In the middle of the season, either you pick the all-star team or you pick the starters and what have you. It's great. They're absolutely terrific, and it's a good mind exercise. I find that folks around me that are aging with the same regularity as me, if they don't have anything to think about, their mind goes bad quickly. And one of the nice things about this podcast setup and the network and all that, we can remember things. We go back. We can look ahead. It's great mind exercise. Just thinking about the candy store or the luncheonette that we hung at when we were 14 years old in those days. The experience for me was the debating around the different teams. You grow up in a metropolitan area that has 3 teams in one city.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that. Even the Cubs in Chicago, Cubs and the White Sox, it's not 3 teams. It wasn't.
No, it's true.
It was just unreal. And the constant, you had one friend who was a Dodger fan, one friend who was a Giant fan, another friend who was a Yankee fan. And the debates got heated. And you found yourself over 4, 5, 6 years hanging with these kids. You didn't like them if they didn't root for your team. So good that we have this. We can go back in memories. Talk about, Peter, the spirit of the cities. Whereas a kid who's 12, 13 could go out to the candy store and hang in those days, whereas today, the way the world is constructed, the safety and all that, you wouldn't send your kid out.
There's no hanging now.
Yeah, none of that.
No such
you don't
thing as
want
hanging. Yeah, you know what else is going? I don't know about by you guys where you guys live, but where I live, what also is starting to go out and disappear and shrivel up is the old bar and grill. Remember the bar and grill, the neighborhood bar and grill?
Yeah.
Now everything is a Chi-Chi's, a Chili's, the In-N-Out burger, a sports bar with 100 television sets and girls in skimpy outfits waiting on the tables and stuff. It wasn't like that back then.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
Back then they had bars and grills.
Yeah.
And a bar and grill would usually be owned by an Irishman.
Really?
And he would serve the locally brewed beers. Now in Brooklyn, that was Schaefer, Rheingold, and Peels. They were all brewed in Brooklyn.
And of Schlitz, because they had the warning at the beach where you
Go ahead.
Schlitz was from Milwaukee.
Stuff. I can't even remember how they worded it exactly, but you didn't want to get sand in your Schlitz. It was one beer that it didn't mix well. I don't know what it was. Rheingold, no problem. You get sand in your Rheingold, who cares? Sand in your Schlitz, you got a whole week ahead of you.
Yeah.
A day at the beach, a day at the beach with Ralphie. What a pleasure, huh?
Hey.
So much to talk about. So much innuendos. It's crazy.
Right.
Those guys, those gentlemen from the neighborhood that used to gather down by the candy store for the night owl editions of the News and the Mirror, they frequented these neighborhood bars, and on Friday nights you couldn't get a seat. There'd be standing room only for the fights on the TV, the televised Friday night fights. Boy, unbelievable! Don Dunphy, right? Gillette Blue Blades.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were packed jam, those bars for Friday night fights.
Yeah.
And in that city where I grew up, women wore girdles, and they often married as virgins. Nearly everybody smoked. I can't remember people that didn't smoke, adults, when I was a kid. Anyway, that's the background.
All of our parents, it was just all the ads on TV, the doctors recommending one cigarette over another one.
4 to 5 doctors. Right, exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely. For a mild smoke. And then they would, as they're still doing, they would target different brands of cigarettes to different neighborhoods.
No doubt about it.
Menthol
no doubt about it.
And
LFMFT, Parliament had something.
LSMFT was Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
No, I thought it was fine tuberculosis, but I think it was
right. You remember when they used to pass out cigarette samples on the airplane?
Yes.
I don't
little
remember
package,
that
maybe 3 or 4 cigarettes.
I do remember.
Yeah, to be 4 cigarettes in the pack. They used to hand them out.
3 or 4. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, you could smoke on a plane back there. You smoke in a hospital room. If one of your friend's fathers or something was in the hospital and you went to visit him, the nurse would bring an ashtray into the room. Everybody'd be smoking, sitting around this guy's bed.
Of course.
That I don't remember. I don't.
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Anywhere. Yeah. You smoke in the bars, in the restaurants, everywhere.
Yeah, well, in the bars and the restaurants is one thing, but smoking in the hospital,
by the
that was unbelievable. Yeah.
So
smoke in the hospital all the time.
Or how about when your doctor come in with a cigarette hanging out?
Sure, hanging from his mouth. Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
And really, that was the way people would get through the day working. They'd have the cigarette hanging out of their mouths.
Yep.
Women too.
Yep.
Too at times. You'd see that attractive look.
I used to sell children's clothing. I had a showroom in Minneapolis. I had 10 tables, big showroom, and there was an ashtray on every table. And when I'd work with a buyer, I'd have a cigarette hanging out of my mouth.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine? Today, they wouldn't. It's unheard of. It was so obnoxious those days.
Crazy. That's crazy.
That's what it was. Everybody was smoking.
And you know what the kids had? The kids had the candy cigarettes.
Sure, they did.
Right.
The bubble gum and the candy.
Exactly like a real cigarette.
Oh, absolutely.
Feel like a big kid when you're smoking it.
With the little red, on the end, the little fire on the end.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were good,
and
too.
sometimes, wasn't there a gum? One of those cigarettes turned into a chewing gum?
Sure, they had that, too.
Yeah.
But some of it was candy, some of it was like bubble gum or something.
Yeah.
Or gum.
But, it wasn't the only way they poisoned us. They poisoned us with the sugar. They poisoned us with, a whole bunch of ingredients that stayed in your system until you got out of the Air Force. You'd eat the stuff when you were 6, 7, or 8, and it would take that long to get out of your system. The artificial
That's right.
ingredients, the preservatives, and what have you.
That's right.
Yeah.
He used to love schmuff.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about, Peter?
Well, there's so many things to talk about. I mean,
there are.
Do you remember that the guy who used to come early in the morning before you woke up, the milkman? Remember the milkman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. He was my uncle.
Very funny.
Very funny.
But here's a guy who used to come. It was still dark out. He would come. Your mom would leave the empties out on the back steps, and this guy would come out of a white truck with a white hat, white shirt, white pair of pants, white shoes. He'd come up with this thingamajig carrying your milk. He would take your empties and put your full ones on your step. Now, I'm thinking to myself, nowadays I'm thinking, not back then, I was too stupid. Right. But now I'm thinking, how about if it was July and August when it was like 88 degrees and stuff? Right. He's leaving the milk out on the steps.
I'm sure you'd pick it up real quick early in the morning before it got hot.
They used to deliver with a horse and buggy at first when I was growing up in Sheboygan.
Really?
They did the Iceman. The old joke, the Iceman cometh. I do remember the Iceman.
Oh, so do I.
With the horse. Owned by my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
He'd chop the ice into a block and haul it on his back with this gigantic pair of what looked like scissors.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? And he'd have that on his back, and he'd come in and he'd put it in your ice box.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was a tray underneath with water.
How times have changed. Wow.
How about going to the movies? Do you guys go to the movies when you were kids?
Oh,
how about outdoor
5 cents.
Not only that, Ralph, forget the price. When you went to the movies, it was an all-day thing because you had the newsreels, you had the cartoons, and then you more than likely had a double feature.
Right.
And you know what you had that was great? You had Ed Herlihy doing the baseball thing. This Week in Baseball. And you'd get newsreels, you'd see. TV was so limited that sometimes all we got was to get our imagination going was the radio. But it was nice to see some of these guys in video, that you'd never seen before. Oh, that's what Eddie Matthews looks like. Or, That's what George Kell looks like.
I remember the first time in 1953 World Series when I watched the Dodgers, I saw that Jim Gilliam was black. I couldn't believe it. I never knew he was black. Because we didn't have a TV. We didn't have a TV.
Yeah.
I was at my sister's boyfriend's parents' house, my older sister's fiance's parents' house on Humboldt Street in Brooklyn, and they had a big black and white TV set. And they said, "You want to watch the World Series?" I said, "Sure." You know, and I went upstairs. They were all downstairs. The kitchen was downstairs. I went upstairs and watched the World Series, and Jim Gilliam comes up, and I go, "Holy cow. Jim Gilliam is black." I never knew it. How can you tell over the radio?
That's right, you can't.
That's true.
Tell over the radio.
I was fortunate enough that baseball cards came into my life very early.
Yes, me too.
So
me too.
That cleared up a lot of misconceptions about who was white and who.
My cards. Oh, I only started doing cards in '55.
Oh no, I started in '51. My dad used to bring me. His law office was next to a tobacco and wholesaler company.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd bring me the whole series of Topps cards every year. I had bubble gum. I'd go to the dentist. I had 14 cavities at a time.
Did you ever get the uncut cards? The ones that came in a sheet before they cut them?
No.
Oh.
How'd you get those, Peter?
Well, you know what? I never did, but I see them. 10 years ago, I see them on eBay. Some guys have them from the 50s, the uncut sheets, and they were selling them on eBay. I never bought one or two or three or four. I never bought them, but they used to have uncut sheets. Evidently, kids, their fathers worked for Topps or Bowman or whatever, and they used to have these uncut sheets before they cut them.
Huh.
Weird.
If they had an uncut sheet, would it be the same player for the whole sheet?
No.
Wouldn't?
It would be like one. You know, your baseball cards were numbered, of course. So they would be.
Of course.
They would be like 1 to 36 for one sheet.
Yeah.
And then 36 to 72 would be the next sheet. You know, like that.
Okay.
That's the way they were. No, they weren't the same fella on the card.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I had every card since 1951. I used to write on them. I'd play with them, write them.
Yeah.
They're hobby cards.
And you put them in the spokes of your bicycle and
and you make it sound like a little motorcycle,
Yeah, make it sound like a motorcycle. The craziest thing in the world was when we were kids, you know, I would love the Dodgers and I hated the Yankees. So when I would buy my bubblegum cards, my baseball cards, and Whitey Ford was in there, I would trade a friend of mine who was a Yankee fan. I'd give him the Whitey Ford, and he would give me, like, the Rube Walker. And little did I know what a jerk I was for doing that. You know, you give up a Mickey Mantle or you know, a Yogi Berra card for Chico Fernandez or somebody like that just because he was a Dodger. You know.
You still have your cards?
Little did we all know.
I bought them all back.
Did you?
We didn't know how much this stuff would increase in price.
No.
We knew that. We'd go out. We would have gone and bought 20 yearbooks in 1962 for 50 cents each.
Absolutely.
And we could have sold them today for $200 each. We would have bought every game we went to. We would have bought 10, 15 programs. We would have saved all those cards, and we'd have graduated high school and never had to work a day in our lives.
Never would have had to work.
Right?
Never would have had to work.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I have bought, since I'm an adult, I have every single Brooklyn Dodger card ever.
Really?
Yeah, starting in well, when I say ever, I'm talking like I have from 49 to 57. All the Dodger cards.
Wow.
Many of them, more than, I don't know, more than 25% of them are reprints. Okay?
Right. They made those sets a few years back.
Yeah.
That were
yes, they did. You can still get them on eBay. and you can get them for a good price. You can get every Dodger card from 52 to 56. Every Bowman and Topps card for like $45, $50. There's 165 cards. Yeah, you just go on eBay. It's right there.
They're the only team they did that with, am I not?
Exactly. They are the only team they did that with. You're absolutely right.
They didn't do that with the Yankees,
nope.
Which would have been a great
just the Dodgers, right?
Just the Dodgers. You can get every card. It would take it if you started tomorrow morning. If you got your night's sleep tonight and you got up tomorrow morning and went on eBay, you could get every Dodger card. Every Dodger card. I'm not talking about the tobacco cards from 1905, 1907. No. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about what we three guys would call baseball cards from like 1951 on or 49 on. You could get every single Dodger card before Thanksgiving if you went on there every day and you were patient and you looked.
Now, can you buy them in a set? Can you still buy that set that you talk about?
Yes, you can. It's called, what the hell is it called?
$45, $50, you say?
Yeah. You know what? People sell them for $95, $100, $150. You go to the sold items. You ever work with eBay? You ever go on eBay?
No, not much.
Okay, if you go on eBay and you put in what you're looking for, there's going to be 1,000 of them, okay? And people are going to be asking anywhere all the way up to $200 for these things. What you do is you click on the left, you go down, you click on sold items, and you see what they actually sold for. You don't care what the hell people are asking. You don't care what the price they're asking, because that doesn't mean shit. What really means, what did they sell them for? And you go on sold items and you see some guy sold them for $48, $52. So therefore you have a frame of reference. So every day you go on there and you look for those cards, that set of cards, every Dodger card from 51 to 56, 165 cards, and you look for one that's buy it now for like $50, $49 or whatever, and then you buy it. And you got like 75% of your cards in one day.
How do you like that?
You can get them all. I have all the yearbooks. I have every Dodger yearbook, and none of them are reprints. I have doubles and triples and quadruples of them too. They had them in 41, 42, 47, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, and 57. Now I have them all. I have all of those. I also have the Dodger stamp book, the great, what do they call it? The golden stamp book of the Dodgers. The Giants had them too. The Giants and the Braves had them also. I have those. And the Cleveland Indians, for some reason, they had them too. But I have 4 of those too. None of those are reprints. They're all, whatever.
You also have some great flannel uniforms from
Yes, I do.
Field Company.
Yes, I do. I have flannel jerseys.
Where do you keep all this stuff, Peter?
eBay. I live on eBay.
Where do you keep all this stuff? Where do you keep all this stuff?
All over the place. All over the place. I have 3 closets just for my baseball stuff, my jackets. I have I have every Brooklyn Dodger warm-up jacket too. Starting from 1951, I have all of them. I even have the Los Angeles ones. I have all the Dodger jackets. I have the flannel shirts. I have some batting practice jerseys. I have all the caps. I have everything.
They got to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, not really. You know what? When I die, they'll burn it or they'll give it away or whatever.
It's never worth as much money as it's worth to the person who has it.
That's
exactly.
Right. That's right.
And the
same thing with my model trains. They'll sell those off after I'm in the ground for a nickel on a dollar.
Right.
Yeah.
That's always the way it is.
Sure.
Or somebody will come along at a garage sale and embarrass your heirs and just say, wait a minute, don't offer me that kind of thing. And it'll bring money into it, and that's not what it was about. It was about every time you look at one of those cards and you see Junior Gilliam, I don't even think of him as Jim Gilliam.
Junior
Gilliam. The memories it evokes, there's no price tag you can put on that. And, And there's another thing in the industry. There's a lot of forgeries going on.
Sure. Oh, sure there is. Sure there is.
Not just with autographs, with cards and what have you. They've got this high-tech stuff going on that unless you had it signed by the player while you watched him, you really should look at every autograph with a jaundiced eye. No matter what.
Sure.
Because somebody could have forged the letter of authenticity.
Of course. Right.
So,
I had someone offer
me. You have to be careful. You have to be careful, and the whole idea is collect because you love it.
Right. I never collected my trains or my baseball stuff to make a nickel. I never said, I'm going to buy this so I can sell it for double. I never did that one time in my life.
No. When I was in LA at the World Series, a guy offered me $500,000 for my Jackie letters. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. I wouldn't sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll bet I could get more than that. These all handwritten letters.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Especially with your notoriety as the Jackie expert.
Yeah. I would.
You could be sitting pretty if you sold all that. I would be very disappointed if you did that, and I know you would never do it. I know you wouldn't.
No,
but if you did, I would be very disappointed. I would say, wow, he must really, really, really be in bad shape to do that.
Right.
Because I know what they mean to you.
Sure, of course. And I don't know what's going to happen to him after I'm gone.
Well, you know what? I know something.
Kids or grandsons.
You're not going to be worrying about it.
No, that's right. I know the Hall of Fame wants him. But
you know something? You should make a stipulation. Make a stipulation in your will that when you die, they go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Oh, right.
That's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah. I have done that. If my grandson and my son doesn't want it, then it's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
my Kennedy stuff and my Jackie stuff, both of them. Yeah.
Ronnie, is it if they don't want it or they
if they don't want it.
Oh, okay. If they don't want it. Okay. Chances are I can't imagine your grandson not wanting it.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. But
good.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is amazing the stuff that we accumulate over the years. It's some people, when you meet some people and they find out about one or two or three or four things, it's just the tip of the iceberg, and they still scratch their heads and they go, what the hell is wrong with you? Why do you collect that shit? You're crazy. They don't get it.
They don't understand. No, they don't understand. They don't understand.
I remember going for autographs and taking baseball cards, going down to the hotels and what have you. And I brought them back to my father. He says, somebody scribbled on your baseball card.
Yeah.
And
what do you do with your autograph?
Is that an autograph on a baseball card, depending on the autograph, whose it is, and what card it is, and the value of the card, the autograph could actually decrease the value of the card to a collector.
Depends, right? It depends.
Sure, because you've written on it. That's right.
It depends.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which
is strange, isn't it? If you think about that, that's strange. It's true, but it's strange.
It is strange because if it's not in pristine condition, it's worth less. And by having the player autograph it, or you writing because the guy was traded from the Phillies to the Reds, on there, it devalues it.
Oh, it's worth nothing. It's worth zero if you wrote on it. What Ralph is saying, if the player himself writes on it, sometimes it devalues it.
It devalues them too, sure. That's right. Unbelievable. What did you do with your autographed baseballs? Did you ever play with them?
If you're asking me? Are you asking me or Ralph?
Either one of you.
Oh, I didn't have many autographed baseballs growing up.
Yeah.
But for some reason or another, I have a lot fewer baseball cards than before my mother got a hold of them.
Me too.
Every
Me too.
year. What do you need that crap for?
Right.
Yeah.
You're a man now.
Before you threw out that crap, it would have been a lot.
Oh my God.
You're a man.
Gotten along much better.
Yeah.
But I had a friend who literally kept the baseball cards and got rid of his brother. So I was thinking the baseball cards may be worth something, and how much does it cost every month to feed the little bastard? So they weighed it all out. Even back then, they were able to make an equation.
That's funny.
And it turned out well for them, I'm assuming. Less sibling rivalry.
That's for sure.
It's always good that way.
When I left for college, my dad was appointed to federal judgeship in Madison, and they moved. So it was like, when I came home for Thanksgiving, I didn't know where I was going. They left too. They ran away from home. So,
they didn't tell you?
That happened 3 days a week in my house. Don't worry.
You know, that's funny. That's funny, Ralph. That's funny, Ralph. I went to school one day. I came home. They moved.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. And my mother threw my baseball cards. I said, "How can you do that?" Oh, it's just junk, and we had to move, and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
And when I found them, they always had this thing. We wanted you to learn how to get around in the city. We knew you'd find us. So
that's right. I took the train home to Madison. I didn't know where I was going. True.
You guys are funny. You guys are nuts.
True.
You guys are nuts. Hey, Ronnie, did the people in your neighborhood when you were growing up out there in Sheboygan, did they roller skate in the street?
They might have, but I never did. I was still learning.
Ralph, did you roller skate in the street?
He didn't live on a buffalo farm.
Well, wait a minute. Come here. Wait a minute. Stop. Ralph, out in Queens, didn't the kids roller skate with metal roller skates in the street?
Oh, of course, with the skate key and the clip-on.
Yeah, you played hockey and everything from sewer to sewer.
Right. Well, we didn't play much in our neighborhood. We didn't play much hockey. A few years later, when my friend Eric grew up in literally the same apartment and building that I lived in, they were playing roller hockey in my neighborhood. So, things change from year to year in different neighborhoods, but we definitely skated, and that was a big thing. And the skate would fall off. They got the bigger guards on them.
Clamps. The clamps.
I used to have training wheels on my bike till I was 14.
Really?
I don't believe that.
I swear to God, it's true.
You were 14 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I would use my sister's bike.
Everybody comes in at a different level, Ronnie. To me, you're special. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Okay. They didn't have Olympics back then, but you were still special.
Well, I'm trying out now for the hurdles, the high hurdles, and the shot put, and the pole vault.
I'm trying out for the high
Olympics.
jump myself. I'll tell you that.
There you go.
Thank
Pocket
God
pool.
for Bic.
Right, Ralph? Pocket pool?
Pocket pool.
Right.
That ever becomes an Olympic event, I'm going over there, and I'm going to bring Marty Glickman's ashes with me. And I'm going to spread them all over Germany. I'll tell you. And to all my friends from Dresden, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes.
Hey, Ralph,
I don't know where that's coming
being
from.
a Tops rep, I have to ask you a question.
Yes.
That was the best damn bubble gum in the world. It was phenomenal.
Are you kidding me? Those sticks could kill somebody. A stick of gum, you get that.
So good.
There's more toxicity in that than lead poison in Michigan water.
The
same.
Really?
The same amount.
The sugar from the gum, Ronnie, used to be on the first card.
Oh, sure it was.
You used to have to rub the sugar. You used to have to rub the sugar from the bubble gum off the first baseball card.
Absolutely.
That it was lying on top of. That's how much sugar was in it. I'll give you a good gum from back then. Wait a minute. I'll give you a good gum from back then. Do you guys remember Blackjack chewing gum?
Sure.
No, I don't.
Blackjack chewing gum, baby. That was the gum back in the 50s.
How about T-Berry?
Well, I don't know if you guys know that. Tops, what was it? The penny bubble gum that Tops owned, as a matter of fact.
Is that the Bazooka?
Yeah, the Bazooka. That was a Tops.
Did they own it?
Product.
Yeah.
Same folks, and.
But it didn't taste as good as the sheets.
No, well,
those sheets were good.
It's a matter of opinion, Ronnie. I ate the gum too, and Dr. Devac, the dentist in our neighborhood, bought a boat because of it. He bought a Land Cruiser, and we used to get letters. Thank you for the boat. Could you come back? We got to fill it up with gas.
How many packs do you think there was in a whole set of cards?
I don't know.
How much what?
How many packs of cards? How many individual packs were there in a? Because my dad would get me the whole series for 51, 52, 50, you know what I mean, each year.
Well, it wasn't that simple. You could have buy 5 packs in a row and get 3 or 4 duplicates.
Yes, you could. Yes.
In that,
like each pack had one. I mean, I had sheets of bubble gum that were stacked up to the sheet.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Sure.
Well, maybe the bubble gum will be worth something someday to your grandchild.
Oh, God.
So throw away the Jackie letters and be chewing gum.
Yeah, there you go. Good idea.
Oh, my God.
Good idea. Remember going out to eat, and when you would sit down in your booth, there would be a jukebox right next to you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That was cool.
There are some restaurants that still have that, some diners. Very few and far between.
Very few,
and you flip through the thing and...
Yep. You pick the songs.
Yep.
It was about a nickel a song or something. Or
a
quarter, you could get a lot of songs, you know.
Yeah. Well, would you go back and change the modern technology that we have now where you can push a button and instantaneously in full stereo and high definition comes any song out of your little phone?
Amazing.
It is amazing.
It is.
It really is.
It's kind of scary.
How about drive-in movies? Remember drive-in movies?
Yeah, drive-in movies. Remember them?
Yeah.
They were cool.
They were great.
They were all over New Jersey. There was a drive-in movie every 2 miles in New Jersey.
Speaking of toxicity, have you guys ever eaten at a drive-in movie?
Of course.
The food going around the grill and being kept going. 1951, same thing. 1952. Nobody likes this one. Let's try this year, and they around and around.
The adults used to warn us when we would go to the drive-in. They would say, "Just get the popcorn. Don't get the food."
Right. That's right.
Well, I didn't go to drive-ins until I was old enough to drive, and that didn't come till I got to California. I was old enough, but we didn't have a family car or anything.
Did you ever hide people in the trunk? Because to get into the drive-in, they would count the people in the car.
Yes, they would. They would. That's right.
What was it? Little Stacy, rest in peace. That's how that got started. There's all kinds of documentaries this week. It's like the 10th year anniversary of that. And our colleague here on Uncomfortably Zoned, Peter Golenbach, happened to have written a book with Baez, the attorney for that poor little girl. So,
wow.
Off of the mother, and I don't.
Is that book out already? I thought they were just writing it.
No, that book's been out a long time.
Has it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's called Presumed Guilty, rather. And anyway, very interesting case, and I had to end it with bodies in the trunk. That's not what you meant. Oh, they wanted
That's exactly not what I meant, but that's an interesting anecdote.
But interesting how my crazy mind works and goes from here to there. And
we never put anybody in the trunk, but we did put couples under a blanket in the back seat.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, you'd put an army blanket over them, and they would lie still. You'd go in, the guy would look in, he'd see two people, you'd give him the money, and then you'd drive in, and when you got far enough away, they would take the blanket off and sit up.
Yeah, right. That's right. We did that.
That way you would. That's the way you would beat it. That's the way you would beat it.
All right, now tell me if either of you guys ever accidentally drove off and the speaker is still attached.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. But I could see where that would be very easily done.
Yeah,
that would be evil.
Human.
Oh, boy.
And you know what we are failing to talk about is the old root beer drive-ins.
Sure, the car hops.
The car hops.
Oh, yeah. The girls would come out on roller skates and serve you.
Right.
And put the tray on your window.
Put the tray on the window? On the window, right.
Yeah.
A&W root beer had a bunch of those things.
Yes, A&W or Stewart's?
No, A&W.
No, I think it was A&W.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I could be wrong on that.
The car hops, unbelievable.
I don't remember Stewart's. And,
all right.
Yeah, they come out and they. It was almost like it was the Ron Howard movie.
Oh yeah. That was a great movie. What was that movie? Oh, it was real famous.
I don't know if I'm thinking Back to the Future or one of those.
No,
it wasn't that. It was something
else.
It was
real famous. Anybody have a phone handy? You look it up right now.
I don't, but what I do remember is the music that it was set to, the musical track. You can buy the album of that movie, and it's terrific. Some great songs on that album.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
all right, guys. Are we talked out?
I don't know. I guess we are. Right. I wanted to mention a couple of other things.
We'll cover it next week.
Yeah. Okay.
This was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It really was.
Yeah. There's so much to talk about the 50s. It's just incredible. And I learned something tonight. I learned that Sheboygan, Wisconsin had a lot of the same things that we had in Brooklyn and in Queens.
Right. We might have one. You might have had 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we had one driver. You probably
I'll
had
tell you what,
20 of them.
If you had an uncle who was the village drunk in Sheboygan, that's one thing. But if you had an uncle who was the village drunk in New York, that's saying something.
Or an aunt that was the town pump. But we won't get into that.
Sheboygan is the bratwurst capital of the world.
I know my Aunt Gertie at that is turning over in her grave, but he didn't mean that in a derogatory way. He meant that as a complimentary way. You were fun, Aunt Gertie. You weren't just a town pump. You were fun. Okay, I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay. All right, guys. Listen, it's been a pleasure.
It has indeed, and we'll do it next week, I hope.
Okay. It's been a pleasure. I hope to do it next week also. Next week we'll be in the month of June, and time waits for no one. And
right, so another summer's coming up.
Another summer's coming up.
In
okay,
Sheboygan, it's already summer.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, with 101.
Ronnie, you guys have been ahead of the time all these years, and we just never knew it. We thought New York was where the world, with the sunset and all that. No, it was Sheboygan.
Yeah, go.
For the Bennett,
and is that where Jack Benny is from? Who's from Sheboygan?
Oh, he's from Waukegan.
Oh, Waukegan. Okay.
Yeah. Jackie Mason was from Sheboygan.
Jackie Mason.
Yeah.
I got a finger for you and a finger for you.
Yeah.
Finger you.
I heard him do a thing one time in Minneapolis, and then there was a press cocktail party afterwards, and I hollered at him, Jackie, I'm from Sheboygan. He came right over and we kibitzed. His father was a cantor at the synagogue there. Yeah.
Well, very nice, Jackie Mason.
Okay, listen, we had a good time, as always.
It was fun.
We enjoyed ourselves, and
we'll
hopefully it's a good show. By the way, last week's show has not been posted yet.
I know. That's coincidentally, that's going up this evening.
All right. Very good.
So,
okay.
Look for that, and this one will go up shortly thereafter.
All right.
Wonderful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Peter Trunk saying goodnight for Ron Rabinovitz and Ralph Tycho and the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network, and thank you for listening. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, guys.